Okay, you ready? Let's do this one. What's up, guys? Episode 3. We did it, man.
Missed one.
You missed the first one, or the second one, depending on how we do it. But episode 3, I think this is a great topic today. It's something that never gets talked about. Ever. It's Ramadan, fasting, and training. Right? And so this is for everyone, Mississauga. Because Ramadan's coming soon. April.
It comes in Instagram and other places as well.
Other places as well, yeah.
If you see the moon, it's good for them as well.
Yeah, if you see the moon, you're good.
You're good,
So
yeah.
not just Mississauga.
Maybe Oakville too, you never know, right?
Yeah, there might be some guys in Oakville too. Why not? Brampton,
sometimes,
yeah. Brampton, stand up. Toronto.
Brampton, we have more people coming from Brampton.
More
So I
Brampton,
like it.
yeah. So to all the guys in Brampton, by the way, shout out to you. We salute you. So yeah, I just want to start the topic by what is one of the most common excuses people come up with during Ramadan and training? What's the most common ones? And just list some off, and we'll get a little laugh out of it too.
So sometimes it's pretty sad. Some people they think it's or actually majority they think it's not good to. They feel like Ramadan is the lethargic season. So like you gotta be lethargic, right? Don't move. If you move, you're gonna melt. So.
Okay, so lack of movement, you're gonna melt. Yeah. Do they just feel like they have less energy when there's no food in their stomach? Is that one of the things that they're worried about?
So what I think is different than what people they say. Like, yeah, I have no energy because I'm not eating, I'm not drinking.
Yeah,
it's really bad. But like when I tell you fasting, like what do you think? What does fasting to you? Like briefly, right?
I mean, fasting is just withholding yourself from food. So for a set amount of time during Ramadan, it's like from dusk till dawn, right? Every Muslim does it. Happens once a year for a whole entire month. And then there's no consumption of anything. People think, is it just food? No, water too. There's no water, right? So because of that, there's this whole notion that you should just relax and calm down in Ramadan. But like we've talked about before, is like you have to actually maintain what you do. You have to still earn your living. You still got to keep active, right? We shouldn't be slowing down. We should be actually just maintaining and persevering, right?
But tell me what you think, what fasting does, like what do you need to fast? What is the basic thing that you need to be able to do this physical? What do you think?
Obviously you want to have good health, right?
Yeah.
If you're diabetic, that could be a problem. If you're of old age or if you're too young, that could be a problem, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to first obviously clear those things.
Perfect. So you're healthy. So if you're fasting, you're healthy.
You got it. You
Good.
nailed it.
So you're healthy physically.
Yeah.
And what else do you need to do this application of fasting? What's the other thing that you will need?
Well, I mean, it's just a bit of willpower, right?
You got it.
So
boom.
That's the word you're looking for?
That's what
awesome.
So exactly. So this is that's what I tell people is like that the whole thing. It seems to me definitely there is more multiple spiritual and goals and a lot of benefits from it, spiritual benefits and other benefits as well too. I'm gonna talk from my profession, which is the strength and conditioning, which is from this point. Mentally, man, it makes you stronger. You look at the food, you don't even think twice about eating or drinking. It's almost like it suddenly became non-option thing.
Yeah.
And any other day, if you tell someone man, control your diet, control this, do this. Oh, I can't. No way, I can't. No, I can't. And you see people very weak, and just Ramadan comes, and all the strength come to you. So I think it's from higher. We're trying to show. He's trying to show us the strength within we have.
Right. Okay.
He's making you here you have this same person now, Mr. XYZ. I sat with him. He's like, man, I'm very weak. I cannot do it. Cannot lose the weight. He has degeneration in his back and his knees. He's in his 40s. We put him in the scale. His biological age is 9 years old. Hardly walks. He cannot sit down properly. He in pain always. A man in his 40s. He has high blood pressure, hypertension. He has is diabetic, heart disease. He's diagnosed for heart disease as well too. The whole list. Movement, nothing. And he said I'm very weak and I cannot do nothing about it, and this is it. And I was asking one question. I was like, do you wake up to pray Fajr? He's like, yeah, I wake up. So you have some willpower, you know what I'm saying? You wake up early if you want to.
It's not easy to do.
Yeah, so you wake up, so you leave the sleep, okay. What about food? Do you like food? It's like, I love food, man. I love my, my Indian food, my, Arabic
Lebanese
food,
food, yeah.
Lebanese food, whatever.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
yeah, I love my food and this fatty, sugary, whatever. Perfect. And Ramadan, do you eat? Is like no. I'm like, okay, another one that you're very strong. You can control yourself for 12
I
hours,
see
no
what you
eating and
mean.
no drinking. I ask him another question. Is like, I gonna give you what do you like? It's like I love steak. I'm gonna give you the best steak, but it's not gonna be uh, like you know slaughtered in the Islamic way. It's
Yeah.
not halal, right?
Yeah.
Would you eat it? It's like no way. I'm like what? Like see, do you see? Like so you're applying. So he's teaching you a concept. There is a concept that you should have. So carry on this concept when you see a sugary thing or a fatty thing that will hurt your health. Carry the same concept that like Allah is showing you the strength that you have. You can
Okay.
wake up for Fajr, so you can wake up early and early for your family and do so on and so on and exercise in the morning if you want to, whatever
Yeah.
the case. And if you can control yourself from food for 12 hours, so He's teaching you. Allah is not only here in Ramadan, or your strength doesn't come only in Ramadan.
Yeah.
And when the willpower comes, you let all the physical goes, you know?
Exactly.
No.
No, I mean, I love the passion, man.
Yeah,
Like, to keep
yeah.
going, but like, listen, it's all about willpower. But you said it best. It's like, listen, buddy, if you're able to do it during Ramadan, why not do it through the rest of the year? You have the power. You were able to do it, right? It was just, what was the motivation? And if the motivation stays the same throughout the rest of the year, man, now you're really coming up with something, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. Now here's the problem, like. Fasting, great. People are starting to realize intermittent fasting healthy for you. Why? Because it gives your stomach a chance to take a break.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it has been shown as an effective treatment for a lot of gastrointestinal diseases, right?
Yeah.
But what people are afraid of is, okay, I'm fasting, I'm not drinking or eating, but what about training? Now I have to, not only am I withholding calories, but now I'm burning them. So they want to know, like, if I train, like, how do I go about it? Am I at risk of that dehydration? Will I have the energy? Like, can you give me maybe a little bit of background? Because I know you train every single Ramadan, and you make a point to like train every single time.
I think it's Ramadan. So like it can be based on the person. If there is starter, like
yeah.
the new, we call them a challenger in our system, right?
Challenger,
Yeah, the challenger, and
Good.
then later on they became winners and so on. So if you're a challenger, let me define what's challenger. Challenger means you challenge your mind. You challenge that, like you know your addiction to sugar and fats and no exercising, and you have some issues, and you never been in the gym. You hate exercising. You never see yourself doing it. You challenge all these mental barriers, and you made the decision, and you came here. You give me a phone call or message, or you message Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and tell me like, man, you know, I'm done with this. I wanna start. You know, so I say like you're not a starter. You're a challenger actually, because you're the best challenge. You challenge all the obstacles that you made in your mind, my family and the time and the timing and the work and so on, and lazy and I'm tired and excuses. You put all these excuses and you punched it and you moved on to come here. And then later on, if you pass the first 4 to 6 weeks, I call you a winner, because now you lasted for 4-6 weeks.
You've proven it.
And then now we can take you to a higher level and so on. So anyway, let's go back to this, like we're talking about fasting. Definitely, like what I say, there is multiple things. If you've been exercising, your body's, there is adaptation. And always in Ramadan, if you're like someone show yourself, someone already like athletic and someone train, always I will tell them like, okay, this month is a deload month. We're gonna work on your mobility more. We're gonna work on more on the like what if your weight loss is the goal, we're gonna work a little bit on weight loss. I'm not gonna work big. I'm not gonna go huge on strength and huge on like make you faster in Ramadan. I will deload your program a bit. I will introduce different things and challenge your mind, and I will still keep you moving. But when you get out of Ramadan, you're not gonna feel like all the strength or all the muscles that you done or you made before Ramadan will be gone after Ramadan. You're gonna make you maintain. I'm gonna add another aspect, which is mobility, which is stability, with core activation, some deload, working on some like different aspect of the program.
Absolutely.
That would be like a one thing that I would do.
But can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So you would say to avoid strengthening and speed and like 100% athletic performance, right?
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you want to like kind of change things around a little bit?
Yeah.
Just for everyone to understand.
Yeah.
a
So
little more.
actually. So now I'm lowering the calorie intake. If I lower it, sometimes I can make people still keep the gaining muscles in Ramadan based on like how strong they are, yes, and how many hours. Like when you fast in Toronto in July and June, it's a long day. But when you fast in Toronto in January and December, it's no long day.
Yeah.
So I can, if it's December, I can still make you know, Ramadan moves around the year, right?
Yeah.
So that's why like in December I can make it again muscles, and still I'm still eating the 4 or 5 meals between. I have like more than 12 hours or like 14 hours to eat, you know.
Yeah.
So but when I have only 8 hours to eat, different case based on your work and your age, your goals, everyone will be different.
Yeah.
That's why you need to talk to a professional. And sadly when I see someone that like someone, you know, a coach, with all my respect, a great strength and conditioning coach, or him or her,
Yeah.
and you know, they study and so on, they be practicing, but they never fast themselves, and they're giving people advice on what to do in Ramadan. And I see this over all the internet. I'm like, it's a perfect to understand, like to study a little bit what fasting does. Like, okay, we can talk about this, how the food sit in the stomach longer, your body starts slowing everything down, your body wanna become efficient, trying to get more energy from the food that you're having, so everything is slower. That's why you feel like the food, when you eat it, the food stays, it doesn't move like usual, like the other days, because actually your body's adapting to the new system that you have, right? But again, you should like seek the proper guidance, and everyone is different. So case by case we'll do it. But I will usually, for the weight loss guy, it's working very well. It's a beautiful kickstart. Start in Ramadan. Don't stop in Ramadan. I got like a lady, I was sitting with her the other day for when we were talking, and she's like, you know, I'm gonna wait until after Ramadan I start. I'm like, okay, she's gonna wait another 3-4 months to start. This is not a good mentality to do. If you wanna start yesterday.
Start yesterday. Don't be the New Year's resolutioner.
No,
right?
Start now, like right now. Do it now. You see the cookie. You decided that like, I'm not gonna eat sugar. You know, when I say sugar, bread and rice has sugar, but I'm saying like processed sugar, right?
Yeah.
Do it now, man. Start from now. You know.
Well, that's the challenger method, right? It's like breaking through these barriers, and one of them is a mental one of trying to postpone your goals till a later day where you feel safe, you don't have to deal with it, right?
You got it.
But you don't start now, you start yesterday, because you want to get uncomfortable right away. You got to break those barriers, right? But with weight loss, I mean, most people have the goal of weight loss.
Yeah.
And I always think, man, I'm just like, dude, Ramadan's actually the perfect time. You got to be smart about it, right? You got to make sure you don't dehydrate yourself. But when you're in a fasted state, your body goes into fat burning mode. It relies more on its fat reserves for energy, right? It's called beta oxidation for the actual scientific term. But what it's doing is that because the muscles are low on glycogen, your body has to do something. Body's a very adaptive structure, right? So it will actually rely on your storage, which is your fat. Fat's actually fuel, right? And so when you're in a fasted state,
lipocyte,
you got it.
To lipocyte and
It just reduces the fat because of that, right? So you become more of a fat burning machine. Right, but in terms of the strengthening, of course, because you have the reduced calories, that's why you don't focus too much on strengthening. It's more about maintenance, right? You're trying to just like maintain what you have. But
so some people will still do like I will still do like a half an hour session heavy before after. If you have it after iftar too, you still.
So let me get your thoughts on that. Like if let's say they want to train after iftar, what are some of the things that they should focus on eating and focus on avoiding? Because I know what you eat is probably going to play an important role as to how you perform, right? How about this? What would you recommend they have for iftar if you want them to train after?
Okay, so if you're looking at weight loss, I can based on the case again, it's different. Everyone is different, and as you mentioned, so like I tell this to all the people they work with us, you know, like I tell them always like when you eat, this is how your body take the food and put it in the muscle. The muscle needs what we call the myocyte, and then you put it in the liver, which is your hypocyte, and you put it in the fat, the lipocyte. So I say like, you know, you have this like carriers, they're going this room. First thing, make your muscle hungry. That's why when you train, your body will put right away the energy and this food and the glycogen, whatever the case, you're gonna put in the muscle. You're gonna fill up the muscle first. But if you don't keep using this muscle, that's why type 2 will come resilient. Like now they're resilient to their own insulin like carrier with sugar. I just make it a little easier. I have a carrier that, you know, pick up this red shears.
Yeah. And
this carrier is working well. The insulin, which is the carrier, is like me. The insulin, I come and I carry the sugar, which is this red shear, and I always go put in the muscle. The muscle now, which is, let's say this table is sick of. I'm done with you. You always put into me, and I don't move. I'm like paralyzed. You don't use it, you lose it, right? So what's gonna happen? I carry the chair, I go to put on the table, close the door. No, I'm not gonna take it.
Can't get in there anymore.
Here is diabetes type 2.
Yeah.
So they're resilient now, their own insulin sugar. Then they give you all this medication, sadly, you know, and then you don't solve the problem. The best medication for it from like physicians and dietitians we talk to and research, make this muscle move. If this muscle moves, it will suck this sugar in it, this chair, whatever, to the table, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't do it. So if you train your muscles in Ramadan, when you eat your iftar, it's not gonna go to this your fat and your liver. It's gonna go to your muscle.
Yeah.
So train in Ramadan, out of Ramadan, this muscle, he made it for you to move it, not to keep it there. Just like you know, it's not meant to.
Well, that's funny because I always tell my clients when I see them for physical therapy, it's just like we have like hundreds of joints in our body. Yeah. You think that something that's designed with 100 of joints is designed to just be still? The muscles are designed to go like this, right? That's how they work, the muscle fibers, right? Yeah. But just to touch on what you were talking about before, insulin is a chemical the body releases every time we eat something, right? Yeah. Insulin spikes more when there's more simple sugars, right? So high glycemic foods, and then there's low glycemic foods where these are type of foods that digest a little bit slower. You don't get an insulin spike. Insulin's job is to take that energy and store it into the muscle through a GLUT4 transporter, right? Now, again, when the muscle's not working, must be like, I don't need this. So where do you think the sugar is going? Tell me where the sugar goes.
Yeah, you're gonna go to the lipocyte and you got it. The lipocyte and the hypocyte, which is your liver, and this way you're gonna have a fatty liver, and you're gonna have like big.
Nice storage, bloodstream, everything.
Yeah.
So the body does it because it tries to get our energy ready, right? It's like it's putting into our blood. We're trying to get ready. We're trying to utilize it, but when we don't, it just stores it. It stores into fat. So
the other thing too, the misconception. People they think they need to eat this much to move this much, which is the opposite actually. You need to eat this much and move this much.
Got it. Yeah.
Your body will utilize it. Your body will know. Your body will. If I start feeding you, let's say you need 4,000 calories to just maintain your weight.
Yeah.
If I cut this slowly, you will lose weight and so on, but then after that, you're not gonna lose weight and you'll be more energetic and your body will produce more mitochondria and your body will understand that like I have to make it's the best. I think it's a 40% our efficiency, or like we're the highest efficient machine that you can put energy in it and it gives you energy back. More than cars and engines and so on and whatever.
So mitochondria is like the battery for our cells, right?
Yeah.
No, it's okay. I'll be the one that talks about it. But like every single cell in our body has mitochondria. Yeah. It's like the battery.
It's crazy. Can you imagine? So every single
cell, has hair cell, nail cell, muscle cell.
To make ATP, to make energy, to get
ATP is the cellular energy, right? Now you just said it yourself. If the body is stressed, if you're not putting enough food, the body's gonna adapt. It will produce more mitochondria.
Big fat, man. Yeah, more mitochondria. You do more cardio. Sense. You do more cardio. You increase your mitochondria too. It's amazing. You move it more. It became better and better and efficient at producing energy. So thinking like I will die here and I will stay here because I'm fasting. It's the opposite from what you need to do. These people like the Muslim like early like Badr like they fought, bro. They fought and they won Ramadan. Like, you know what I'm saying? They had like.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, like
fighting a battle where you're gonna exert the most energy because it's life or death.
Just exactly, you know. So like I don't feel like we got it right, you know, like about like. So like go back to the basic things. I'll say always hydration. So one of the things I do to make it easier for people, I say get some electrolytes, put in your water. So every time you're drinking water, have some electrolytes with it. So
what are some electrolytes? Can you give me some examples?
So like any brand, like there is Vega one, like you mean what's inside the electrolytes? There is sodium, potassium and magnesium. Okay. It's gonna help you for hydration. Okay. So now let's say like I drink 1 liter of water because I'm fasting. I cannot drink like the 2-3 liters I'm drinking the other day. So I'm gonna just get 1 liter. This 1 liter I'm gonna crank it with some electrolytes. It will be worth 2-3 liters. Make sense? Makes sense. So I'm keeping the hydration. So I'm gonna add this to my water always when I'm drinking. Beautiful thing. So now I know the hydration. Another thing too, if you feel like you're low on amino acids, you can have some amino acids. You can supplement with some whey protein if you like to.
Yeah.
If you wanna, if you feel like no way you can exercise before iftar, okay, have a little small iftar, have like a date and some water, some milk, whatever that you prefer or like your tradition and so on.
Yeah.
And take it and then go move a little bit, exercise for half an hour, 45 minutes, eat. Now, what is hungry now? Do you remember the 3 myosites we talked about? 3 places or 3 stores are open, the muscle store now is gonna be opening in mouth like this. Want to eat everything that you eat.
Yeah.
So all the food you put into your body, it's gonna go to your muscles. Exactly.
You got it.
And then you're gonna feel better, and you're gonna have no disease, nothing. You're gonna feel more energetic. See people in iftar, what they do? They eat, and then after this, like, I wanna go pray.
Yeah, they get the itis. We call it the itis, right?
Yeah.
Where itis is really just a way of saying inflammation, right? Tendinitis, inflammation of the tendon, right? Gastritis, inflammation of the stomach. But it's the perfect way to describe it, because when you eat so much and like the body just has to digest it, it's actually becoming inflamed. It's internal inflammation. But I wanted to touch on the other point, like you mentioned, electrolytes. If you don't want to take the supplements, I mean, there are natural sources. I mean, 3
100%.
great ones I can think of: coconut water, bananas, high in potassium, beet juice is great too. Like, there's so many options for electrolytes. Electrolytes are really just meant to maintain the water. It's all about water retention. The water stays in your body more, right?
Yeah, true.
Gatorade is high sugar, but the whole way Gatorade works, it has electrolytes. It's high potassium, sodium. But yeah,
like coconut water is a good one too.
That's one of my favorites, actually. I love coconut
It's
water.
very good. Some people, they don't like it. I tell them, like, the powder electrolytes. I mean, like, I just want them to be, if they can drink water again, if you can drink like good water, it'll be amazing. Like, if if you can drink the enough water, but again, it takes sometimes even water, and when you're fasting, it's get heavier and it gets like takes longer to digest.
Is it true that the stomach shrinks during Ramadan? Is that a myth, or is that true?
No, it's it does shrink.
I'm trying to provoke it.
Yeah. I mean, it does shrink. Why? It's a muscle.
Yeah.
It's a muscle that, again, it's a game. Like, it's a beautiful example. See how your appetites go less when you're eating. You're like on a regular day, you can eat this plate or this 2 plates, but now Ramadan you cannot eat it. So can you imagine? And you like, what happened to me? I want you to think about the other 200 or 300 or 400 muscles in your body. How many muscles we have? Like,
beyond belief, how many? Like 500 maybe.
So think about all these muscles, you're not using them. It's very sad. But the only one muscle that you're certainly using it much, you still worry about, which is your stomach, you know what I'm saying? Which is muscle made to make energy for the other, it's a server,
Yeah, it's a server,
It serves the other muscles,
We shouldn't think about training it, we should just, that's the server, man. Train the muscles, let the stomach work with the muscles.
Yeah. But they're all one thing. You have to take care of the whole thing. And you want to be spiritually like you. And this was the other thing too, if I want to go like more holistic to Ramadan approach, I would say, like, okay, I deload from the physical and I load the spiritual, So and the mental, so the mental spiritual dominate now, and the physical is coming like this. And then after that I can go like some spiritual, mental, and some, and I will always like, slowly. But the 3 entities, they have to be on the same level, or crashes will happen, or anxiety will happen, or injury. When it happens, you're gonna get depressed because you're all about the physical. So the minute you get hurt, you get depressed. Because your mind wasn't holding the strength that you have, right?
Yeah.
So, and then the spiritual will help this too. It's just 3 things, like when you go to any old school, like gyms, or like not school, like like YMCA, like I have a big respect for this. Say like spirit, mind, and soul, mind, and body, right?
Yeah, you got it.
So the triangle, you gotta always.
Well, I'm glad you bring it up, because like I play basketball. I play a lot of basketball, right?
Yeah.
And I would always have to play during Ramadan. And it would always be at the end of the fast, right before I'm about to break fast. I even had a couple tournaments where I'm just like, oh my God. But I would play these tournaments while fasting, and I would gas out. I would gas out a little bit, right? But what I noticed is that after I gas out, when I had my second wind, I was just like, whoa, mental clarity like crazy. Like it's something that you can't really describe. It's just like, it's there. Like, everything makes sense. There's nothing really like confusing you on the court. There's more of like a flow state, where just everything seems to work. And like, I always tell my friends, like, man, like playing basketball during Ramadan was like it was an interesting experience, because it really felt like a flow. Like, it just, everything made sense. I was passing the ball to people. Passes were more crisp. The shots were going in. And you just felt really good. No joint pain, no nothing. You might be a little bit thirsty, but you manage, because again, you talked about it, electrolytes in the water stores.
And adaptation as well too. You've been fasting since you were like 8-10 years old.
Well, that's important too, right?
So I'm not gonna tell the person that the first year of the first time they try fasting for a reason or other, and then I get to tell them like, go all out and play basketball for an hour or 2 hours, I'm not gonna do this with
you gotta be smart about it.
Smart, yeah. But adaptation, we adapt, and everyone is different, and the mind strength is amazing. It's crazy. You can survive with 3 days with no eat and no food and so on, right? Can 3
There's
days
a study,
with
bro.
water, yeah.
There is a study where someone survived over a year without food. They were medically supervised, right? They were given an IV treatment of vitamins.
Yeah.
And every single day, this guy would go to the doctor. Guess how much weight he started at?
How much?
He started at 400 pounds. By the end of the year, he was 180 pounds.
Yeah.
Now get this. He didn't eat a single thing. It was just vitamins and water.
It's beautiful, but I think this is extreme too, right?
That's an extreme case, but what I'm trying to...
but I mean, it's proven now. It's proven. Yeah.
It's like...
that you don't need all this food. Yeah.
You don't need all the food, right? It's like what I'm trying to highlight. Of course, food's important. You need your macronutrients, micro.
Yeah.
You need your proteins. Like everything's important.
Mentally
right?
too, because you want to stay in the right, like you don't want to be like.
And you need to nourish yourself for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
But I think we put way too much importance into it, right?
I agree.
I think sleep is more important than food. Water is more important because we can't survive a few days without sleep. We can't survive a few days without
I would say like I will equally say like they're all important.
Really?
I will equally say all important, and moderation, everything. If you sleep too much, you become lethargic. Too is not good. Sleep too less is bad.
But in this country, I don't think anyone's sleeping enough. Did you sleep enough? I didn't sleep enough. Did you sleep enough? I didn't sleep enough.
Yeah. I mean, like again, it's all about moderation, right? Like moderation is the best thing to do things. Extreme training will get overtraining, overreaching, and injuries. If you know, even the Prophet, the other people, they try to fast in the night. They say like, did you see me doing this? I complete the fast. Okay, I'm the Prophet. I complete the fast, but you don't keep the fast. Is almost like haram to keep fasting. You have to break your fast.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to stop it, right?
You have to. Yeah.
So you have to stop it. So it's we're all about, like, it seems like, again, I'm not like Maulana or any sheikh or anyone that talks about this, but it's always what I'm getting is like deen al-wasatiyya, like the moderation. It's all about moderate, like, you know. Okay. So being moderation in your food, in your sleep, in your work, everywhere that you need the moderation. If you go extreme, there is a price for the extreme.
But here's what I noticed, man. I mentioned it, and I totally understand. There's no such thing as black and white when it comes to this topic.
Yeah.
But I feel like people overeat, they underdrink water, and they undersleep.
Yeah.
So I think that has to flip a little bit, where we eat in moderation, we drink more water, and we sleep more, right? They say the average person needs 7 to 8 hours, right? You lose 1 hour of sleep, that could affect you tremendously. They did a study, man, where this neuroscientist for sleep, he would look at statistically the whole population of North America, the prevalence of heart attacks, right? And he would compare daylight savings in the spring compared to daylight savings in the fall or winter, right? So one of them, people gain an hour of sleep. The other one, people lose an hour, right? Yeah. Now, when they lost an hour of sleep, the prevalence of cardiovascular disease actually increased by, I think, 24-25%. And all other factors were controlled. So other factor,
everything the same,
everything was controlled.
Yeah.
On the flip side, when everyone gained an hour of sleep, it went down 24-25%. So the only reason I mentioned that food is not as important is because sleep is undervalued, water undervalued, food overvalued. And I just want people to understand, like, you have to switch it a little bit. And I'm talking to myself too.
Yeah.
Man, I love food. I love a good Krispy Kreme donut.
Yeah.
I know you don't like donuts, man. I love donuts, man.
Yeah.
But in moderation, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, definitely.
It's not black and white.
Moderation is the thing. People sleep, eat, exercise, work, have a family relation. You have to have everything in moderation. That's what the Prophet did. It's like, you have to, even the Quran says, قُمِ اللَّيْلَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا, like, he was standing the whole night praying, so he doesn't sleep, right?
Yeah.
And his feet to swell and so on and this. And then Allah told him, no, I want you to rest. You wanna preserve him. You wanna save him. Yeah. It's like, okay, no, sleep a bit, and then wake up, pray, and this third, whatever. Like, I'm not like the person to talk about this. Anyway, it seems like, again, he's telling you like moderation, because carry on. It's like these people, they wanna lose weight, or they fast the first or 2 days in Ramadan, they stop, or they pray one prayer and they stop, or one day, or they start exercising and then they stop. It's all about consistency. We talked about this in the martial arts, like being consistent, even if you do less, but you keep doing it.
So micro goals, you're saying?
Micro goals, and then like don't try to set up big goals that that it, like just slowly, like do 10 push-ups, a day, and do it for like 60 days. You see difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like small steps.
Okay.
You run a marathon today, and then you wait another year to run a marathon, because I see people like this. Oh, we have a marathon for 2 months. They start training and running and so on and this, and then they go take Advil to finish the 20-kilometer half marathon, whatever. This is not proper. Again, you're gonna get degeneration. You didn't train this. You have to slowly build it.
That's
build
really a
it.
thing. They take Advil.
Yeah, I trained a lot of people, and I like, and even like
Wow.
about the sleep. I took to sleep about. So I consult a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
So no, like no, people, they sleep and they eat.
You were telling me the story where you had one client, obviously not naming any names. The diet was on point.
Yeah.
The exercise and this
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that, and you told me. I told them to get 1 more hour of sleep,
Yeah.
just 1 more hour,
Yeah.
and it made a huge
And I
world
told
of
her to take
difference.
melatonin too, and she actually started losing weight. We were training for. I used to see her once a week, and I give her homework, and she does like boot camp and so on, and for like 6 months, like 2-3 pounds. I'm like, to track the diet. Let me look at it. Sleep, this, and then the one thing that we overlooked is the sleep. Actually, she was sleeping like 5 hours. She sleep at 12 and she wake up at 5.
Okay.
Here and there, yeah, 5 hours. I just showed you, like, okay, 11:30, 5:30. Let's squeeze things back and forth. She did it for 1 week, and she lost like 1 pound in this week. And she's already like 160, 170. She, like, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't,
Yeah.
like, the
She
pound.
plateaued a little bit.
The pound is a big thing. No, she was not losing weight. And within she take the melatonin. She starts sleeping 6 hours instead of 5.
Okay.
And in like a couple months, she was losing like 80 pounds, which is like more than 10%.
Yeah.
Like she's 100, she's 170, 180. It's like 5% from her body weight.
And for those who don't know what melatonin is, it's a chemical that's naturally in us, right?
Yeah.
When we wake up, the levels of melatonin are low. When we go to sleep, it spikes up, right? And what it does is it signals the circadian rhythm in our head about when we need to feel like we should fall asleep. And it's actually in line with the sunlight pattern, right?
Yeah.
So when it gets dark outside, that triggers something in your mind. Melatonin goes up, brain's starting to understand it's ready to sleep. Now, what affects the brain's ability to understand it's time to sleep is, the screen time,
Yeah.
lights, blue light, being up too late, blah 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 blah. And that's why supplementation with melatonin can trick the mind into thinking, okay, it's still dark outside, you're getting an external source of it, and it has shown to affect people's ability to kind of initiate sleep. It doesn't, control the quality of sleep, but it helps initiate it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah, like it's like, yeah, like, so definitely, like, having like the balance is a main one, right? And if you want to go back to like if you're fasting, so we said like hydration is important. Make sure that your protein intake is good too, and don't try to eat like twice or 3 times if you can. Don't sit down. It's like, I gotta eat now for life, like, just eat slowly and take your time, and remember, like, remember why the fasting, and so on. And we all need to practice on this, right? And
Reflection.
reflection, yeah. You just have a little patience, and don't think about like you're not gonna eat for any more in your life. That was the last time to eat, so just like, kill it. And there is nice tricks like the electrolytes, like the having the whey protein, and then so I have whey protein some dates, and then pray, do whatever, then after that you eat an actual, so now you get like some protein with some sugar to spike your insulin.
To break your fast first.
So you break fast with some whey protein
Okay.
or a shake, right? And then you go do like a light workout, moving this, and then you eat iftar.
That's the real meal. Yeah.
And then you eat another one, so you eat 2.5, two and
Yeah.
and
You're talking
and a
about for
snack.
suhoor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
you eat like a 2.5, or the other ways, like you can actually split the iftar like twice, and based on you sleep and your work and so on, right?
It's
But-
person to person, right?
it's a
That's
person-
why you always got to consult a professional about it.
Yeah. But definitely, it's we need to get our community to be more active, especially in Ramadan, and
Well, what do you think is going to be that push? And I'll make this the last question because it's a late day. We got to start going back to sleep too. But what do you think is going to be that push for them? Like, is this it? Are we going to be able to push them? Like, what's going to trigger that for them? What's going to be that aha moment? Like, yes, okay, we get it. We have to train now. Like, what do you think it's going to be? And if you don't know, it's fine. What do you think?
Why you fast?
Okay.
to be good Muslim, to go to Jannah, to go to heaven, and don't go to hellfire, right? So you want to do because Allah ordered you to do this. So what do you need to fast? First thing that you said was
willpower.
Before the willpower, you said like to be healthy, to be physically healthy.
Yeah.
So to be physically healthy, you need to exercise. So if you want to fast the next year, you have to exercise this Ramadan.
So you should be getting ready for Ramadan.
You should exercise.
So you can
be healthy. And you'll be able to stand up and get up and pray and stand and do all the things. If you want to be like the Prophet, so you fast and you pray. And he was working physically too, and he fought and this, and he, like so he did like all these things.
Yeah.
So if you want to be like him, so fasting, we like that. You see, two things that we need. Each one that we gotta train it. We gotta like make it to allow us to be able to fast and to last longer.
Yeah.
If you became weaker and less mitochondria and less, your body doesn't know how to make energy because you do not move. The fasting gonna get harder and harder and harder, and sooner before later you're gonna be not able to fast.
Well, you guys heard it here first. Like, you got to get ready for the fast.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
Everybody, listen. Get ready for the fast. Fasting is something you get ready for, so you can keep active, so you can pray, no back pain, able to move,
and you keep
it. Beautiful.
Because you don't want to be in your 30s and like, man, I can't do it no more. Or your 40s, like it's sad, man. It's sad. Like successful, smart people, but then when it comes to their health, we see like a different mentality comes out.
Love it, bro. Pleasure as usual.
Awesome.
That was awesome.
No problem. Happy Ramadan.
Good.